Hello everyone, welcome to Just Listen. Today we are going to see about one of the important legal or topic, that is the Maternity Benefit Act 1961, and those amendments came in 2017. First let me get into the topic with the introduction part. In introduction part, first comment is the title. This act may be called as the Maternity Benefit Act 1961, and it extends to whole of India including the state of Jammu and Kashmir with effect from 1970. Totally it has 30 sections. This act is enacted on the basis of the Constitution Article 39E and F, that every state shall protect and secure the health and strength of the workers of both men and women. Coming to the objectives, it has three main objectives, and it aims to regulate the employment of women in certain periods before and after childbirth of pregnancy women, and to provide maternity benefits including a leave, wages, bonus and nursing breaks as required, and to protect the dignity of the motherhood and the dignity of the new person by providing for full and healthy maintenance even though she is not working in the establishment. Next we will see about the applicability of the act. It is applicable to every establishment where 10 or more workers are employed, and it is applicable to every establishment being a factory, and it may be mine or plantations, and it is applicable to every establishment where persons are employed for the exhibition of equestrian, acrobatic and other performances. Any state government with approval of the central government may extend it to other establishments also before giving 2 months prior notice. Next, coming to the eligibility for maternity benefit, the first most eligibility is she must have worked in the establishment for 80 days in the past 12 months before her date of delivery, and every woman earning less than 15,000 may be covered under the ESS scheme also, but she is not eligible to claim the maternity benefit under the Maternity Benefit Act, but she can receive the maternity benefit under the ESS scheme. So nothing contained in the Act shall apply to any factory establishment to which the provisions of the ESI Act 1948 apply for this time being. And coming to the definitions, the few definitions I gave is which is very important. That is, first thing is child. This child includes a stillborn child, that is child in the mother womb. And the second definition is delivery, the birth of a child. And the appropriate government, it includes the establishment of a mine or establishment of the exhibition of equestrian, acrobatic or other performances. In these cases, the central government is the appropriate government. For any other cases, the state government is the appropriate government. And coming to the miscarriage, expulsion of the contents of the pregnant uterus at any period prior or during the 26th week of pregnancy. And commissioning mother is a biological mother. And next, coming to the commissioning mother means biological mother who uses her eggs, that is ovum, to create an embryo implanted in any other woman. The next definition is wages. All remunerations paid or payable in cash, that includes cash allowances. Cash allowances includes DNS allowance, HRA and etc. And incentive bonus and money value paid for the concessional supply of food grains and other articles. Next, coming to duties of employee for maternity benefit. And every employee has a duty to inform the employer 10 weeks before the expected delivery date, and she may ask the employer to give her light work after producing the certificate of pregnancy, and she should inform the employer 7 weeks prior to the date of delivery about the leave period, and name the person to whom the payment will be made in case she is not taking care of herself, so she should nominate the name. And any woman who has not given the notice when she was pregnant may give such notice as soon as possible after the delivery. Coming to cash benefits and non-cash benefits, we will see in detail what are all the cash benefits and non-cash benefits that can be claimed by the benefited women employee, those who are claiming the maternity benefit under this act. Coming to cash benefits, she can avail leave of 26 weeks, that is 8 weeks before expected date of delivery and 18 weeks after expected delivery with wages, and she can avail medical bonus of minimum of rupees 3,500. If an employer gives interest, they can give more. And in case of miscarriage, she can avail 8 weeks of leave with wages immediately after the date of miscarriage, and additional leave with pay up to 1 month, that is in case of she is giving the proof of illness. And for tubectomy operation, she can avail leave with wages for a period of 2 weeks. Coming to non-cash benefits, no discharge or dismissal should be done while on maternity leave to the women employee, and she should be given light work for 10 weeks, 6 weeks plus 1 month before the date of delivery, and no charge to her disadvantage in any conditions of her employment while on maternity leave. And she should be given 2 nursing breaks of 15 minutes each until the child is attained 15 months old. And pregnant women discharged or dismissed in case of gross miscarriage may still claim maternity benefit from the employer. Every establishment having 50 or more employees shall have the facility of crèche. An employer shall allow 4 visits a day to the crèche by the women, which shall also include the interval for rest allowed to her. And coming to legal obligations under this act is no employer shall knowingly employ a woman in establishment during 6 weeks following the date of her delivery or miscarriage, and no women shall work in any establishment during the 6 weeks immediately the day following her delivery. It shall be unlawful for her employer to discharge or dismiss her on account of such absence. In case of gross misconduct, the employer in writing can communicate about depriving such benefit. Within 60 days from date of deprivation of maternity benefit, any woman can appeal to the authority prescribed by the law. Coming to duties and penalties for employer, every employer shall prepare and maintain such records of the maternity benefit employee, and records and muster rolls of the benefited women employee. And the penalty for contravention of act is fine from rupees 2000 to rupees 5000, and imprisonment with minimum period of 3 months to maximum period of 1 year. Coming to the conclusion, after analyzing various provisions of the Act, it can be concluded the Maternity Benefit Act is one of the boon for the women working, in the sense that they don't have job insecurity during their maternity period, and this Act regulates the employment of women and provide maternity and other benefits to them. Coming to the latest amendments, that is amended in the 2017, and it is recommended by the Indian Labour Conference on the 44th, 45th and 46th session. After more demands from various quarters, the government has recently enacted the Maternity Benefit Amendment Act 2017. Through this amendment, various provisions are implemented, that is increasing the maternity leave from existing 12 weeks to 26 weeks for working women with less than 2 surviving children, and they are giving provisions for work from home for nursing mothers, and there is a mandatory provision for establishments having 50 or more employees to have the facility of crèche, and extension of 12 weeks of maternity benefit to the commissioning mother and adopting mother from the date of the child is handed over. Thank you.